It's still just waiting.
Okay. And I think we are live. We are indeed. Look, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us again. I'm here with Lucy. My name's Tom. This is just another weekly session of basically a live webinar, Q&A, going through the RecXchange platform. And yeah, basically just we heard you, we understand that a few of you want a few more answers on how things work. So today's session it's not like a full-on platform tour because we have got now some learning videos that are going to help you with that. But what today is more about is what I call the money makers. There's, I think, three main areas that I wanted to run through with you. So I'm going to show you and go through it all. Lucy's going to be monitoring some of the questions that are coming through on YouTube and on the platform, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll make this work. But before we start, there's actually something that I want to do just to sort of change things up a little bit. And that's something called high, low, buffalo. So it's a little technique. Basically, I'll give you a high point of something for me personally. I'll give you a low point and I'll give you what I call buffalo. So I'll give you something random. So the high for me is at the moment, I'm loving recruitment again. Like I spent a couple of years just doing like internal recruitment, and obviously before launching my own agency and then obviously with RecXchange. But that really taught me like a candidate first approach. And that's something that I think, is something I wouldn't go away from now. I absolutely love doing that. And it's something that I really want to keep pushing forward. The low for me, again, within recruitment, is probably actually seeing how many recruiters either losing their jobs due to being made redundant, who are burning out just because of the demand is so high, or even having to close their agencies. Now, it's quite sad to see the numbers that you see all the time on social platforms. So that for me is a low point. And it's not due to any sort of lack of talent from then. It's just simply the fact demand is so high in this industry, and it's just an unfortunate situation. But for me as well then, buffalo. So a random fact, I guess for me, I guess it wouldn't be too random actually, but so I have a toddler and I have two dogs as well. For those who know, Cocker Spaniels, high energy, very needy. So between them and work, I'd say probably the only free time that I actually have for me without anything around me or anyone around me is probably the time it takes for me to put my toddler to bed, close the room, and walk down one flight of stairs. That's probably about it, and that's every week. So there we go. There's high, low, buffalo from myself. As I said before, we're going to get into the actual platform. We want to talk about it. We want to go through the ways that we feel you can earn from this system. So let's bear with me and I will get this ready for you. There we go. Okay, so I'd like to think that there are three sections, as I said. There are three sections that I call the money makers. There's roles, which there are two parts of, but there is RecX Direct and Exchange roles, and then there's candidates. Now, if you're looking to make money on RecXchange, yes, of course, you can put your own clients into the client section and you can work on the roles that you win from your own clients privately, and you can use it as an operating system in that way, where you're utilizing the full system, the CRM, the candidates, the roles, and everything. If you're coming in just to then look at working on some roles, pure delivery, nothing else, then these are the three money makers. So the first one that I want to go through is RecX Direct. Now, these are platform owned roles. Okay, so these are clients, live clients that we at RecXchange have won their business, and we are now advertising their roles on the platform. So you see the fees, or the bounties as we call it, you see them up front. These are ready to go roles. We just need the candidates to fill them. Now, we're all about collaboration as well. You know, you can either collaborate with recruiters on Xchange roles, or you collaborate with RecXchange on Recs Direct. So the deals themselves, the split fee agreements and everything, it's all locked in place beforehand. So we've already got that trust. The trust is built in, the money is there. Again, we're looking for people to find the roles that are best suited to them for fill, and then fill them. And obviously once you do fill them, you get paid. So if we dive into it a little bit more, if we go into the roles section on the platform, the first one you come up with is Recs Direct. Now, you can see we've got 75 roles in here at the moment, $480,000 available in fees. The fees themselves, we call them bounties. You can see one's $15,000. That's the amount that you actually get. So if you do successfully place a candidate, that's the money that you receive. We've had a few questions recently about payments, how they work. So just to sort of cover that off quite quickly, basically as it stands with the platform, we're a month old tomorrow. So it's gone very quick, very big. But basically with the payments, once you make a successful placement and the notice period is done and they've started the job, you send an invoice. If it's Recs Direct, send an invoice to RecXchange, and then the payment terms are normally 30 days. It can differ between clients, but again, all of that is up front. Before any submission is made, it's all in the smart contracts that are built in. You just raise the invoice, send it to us, and then once it's gone past that payment date, or once it gets to that payment date, we will then obviously pay you your bounty. Slightly different if you're working with another recruiter on an Xchange role. That is basically, again, split fee agreement, all done up front. You know what your fee would be. You raise the invoice and you send it to the recruiter. You collaborate together, you work together, and then that payment is paid by them. We are looking at future upgrades for this. We are looking at potential built-in escrows, or some way to make it a little bit more seamless. But as it stands, that's what we're using at the moment. Bank transfers have been done for many years in recruitment, and it's always been absolutely fine. But as we say, with Recs Direct roles, if you want to sort of run through and sort of get a bit of an idea of what roles you want to work for, probably just the best to start with sort of segmenting them into the tier that you're currently a member at. So use the drop-down menu on the right-hand side. Pro, obviously with Pro users, you get instant access. So there's no point using that one really. You'll have access to anything that's listed in there. 7 days later, you obviously it opens up to light, and then 30 days after posting, it opens up to the free users as well. So if we use free as an example, you can see on the role card that it's currently saying that obviously it's open for all of them. If this is something, we'll pick this one, for example, principal electrical engineer. If this is something that you want to work on, if this is something that you feel actually this is something I want to give it a go, $6,000 bounty, that's what you'd earn. All you have to do is click on work role. Terms and conditions, again, all of that is basically just the fee that's advertised, 30-day payment terms, unless different with this particular client, but that's all in there. And you can see it highlights green and it says working. This role is now open. It's now open for you to work on. You can click on it, you get the job description, you get absolutely everything that you might need to be able to work on this role. And as a recruiter, this is completely down to you on how you want to do it. If you want to solely just use the candidate search function that we've got built into RecXchange, have at it. Just use that. if you wanted to go external and find candidates through LinkedIn, through job adverts, however you want to do it, whatever you feel is best, by all means, whatever you think is the right move for you to fill this role quickly, then please do it. The only thing we ask is that you don't obviously advertise any client or sensitive information in any external adverts. Once you do get a candidate that you want to apply to the role, you've got a button right next to it that says apply. You can click on that. It gives you a list of all of your candidates. I've got a whole bunch of demo ones here. You can literally just then click on a candidate and apply to the role. It's that easy. There's the other way of doing it, which is going through candidates. You get a similar, what we call a candidate card instead of a role card like this. And the candidate card, it's got the premium Recs Direct button there. You click on it, go to the role and apply. So it's all linked. There's always a way for you to get back to it. But yeah, look, that is Recs Direct. As I say, they are roles that are owned by RecXchange. We basically want to collaborate with you. We want to partner with you and be able to fill those roles and help you earn those bounties. So we're obviously always happy to help if there's any way that we can. Right, if we then we'll go back onto this one. So the next one that we've got, AI search. So we'll go through the search function with you. So let's say again, you're picking out one of these roles. What you do is you head to candidates. Bear with me. There we go. Lovely. So we're back into candidates again. So we're in candidates, and let's say again, you want to find an electrical design engineer. I think one of those roles was. All you got to do is pop it in here. I'm just going to put in electrical design. Helps if you spell it right. Location. Can't actually remember the location, but I'm going to put in Reading and UK because we don't want to get confused with a Reading that might be in America. There we go. Electrical design, 21 candidates. First one that comes up, so electrical design engineer. Most of these jobs probably just need certain skills like CAD or BIM, something like that to sort of differentiate. But you can see from the job title, it's that easy. What we've got now is access to their LinkedIn profile, access to their email, and access to their phone number. So again, it's that easy to be able to get someone who's suitable for the role based on their job description or based on their job title, and now a way to communicate. So all you need to do is obviously pick which one's best for you and reach out to them, see if they're interested. I think from that search, how many was it? 21 candidates. You've got a good selection there of the amount of people that you can communicate with and see if they are looking and open for a new opportunity. If they are, you arrange a screening call, you go through their experience, you talk about the role. If they're happy, you get their CV and you submit it. Again, we're trying to make that easier as well. And with uploading a CV, if you follow our WhatsApp channel, there is actually going to be videos launching on there. I think one of them going later today will show you how to upload a CV. Again, the AI search. You don't need to worry about Boolean strings. You don't need to worry about anything like that. Trying to make it easy. The data source that we use, they're updating their data all the time. Amazing. So, just want to quickly pass over. Is there's any questions at all yet, Lucy?
We haven't got any yet. No, I've just popped a message in the chat. So if anyone's got any, please do feel free to pop them in there.
Amazing. Right. We can carry on. Okay. Third moneymaker is then the splits. split deals with other recruiters. This is what we call this is basically the exchange roles section. There we go. Apologies, I keep turning Lucy off. I don't know why. There we go. So I'll show you in a minute in the platform, but basically under roles, you've got another tab that's called exchange roles. These are recruiter owned roles. So where with RecX, we own the client, we've set up the terms and the fees, and we're offering the bounty to you to fill the role. Exchange roles is basically other recruiters on the platform, like you, have done all of that. They've done that hard work of winning the client, gathering the role, and for whatever circumstances, whether it's outside of their niche, whether it's, they've exhausted all of their avenues to candidates, they basically need support. They need someone to jump on the role and supply candidates because of whatever reason. So these are real live roles in the Xchange engine, our AI matching system, which we'll go through shortly. But it's basically waiting for people. It's just waiting for people to supply candidates, get a match, collaborate, and make some money as well. There's I think I put it on the platform or on WhatsApp yesterday, but a little smart tip to remember, obviously, when it comes to uploading a candidate to the exchange role, is you're putting it into the Xchange engine. So it's not the case of you're submitting one candidate for one role like you do with Rex Direct or that you do with a client. By putting it into the Xchange engine, there could be hundreds of roles in there, and your candidate could be suitable for 50 of them, for example. You've got multiple opportunities from just one upload, whereas traditional and Rex Direct, you're uploading one candidate to one role. So it's always worth uploading a candidate to the Xchange engine, even if there isn't a role that's being advertised that is, that they might be suitable. Just because it's not there today doesn't mean it won't be tomorrow. And if your candidate's already in there, then they're already getting scanned, they're already getting matched up. You then don't need to worry about it. So if you do come across a really good candidate, have a look through, see if there's any roles that are suitable. Even if there isn't, just upload them. Just upload them just in case, because you don't know what might be coming in over the weekend or during the night. But let me show you on the system where we go. So head into roles, and you go to the top, you see exchange roles. Here again, we've got cards, we've got our role cards, and again, these roles they're uploaded to RecXchange by recruiters and then added to the Xchange engine. Now, the recruiters who own the roles, they share what information they feel is necessary. If there's anything that they don't want to share, whether it be the city in the country that it's in, whether it be the postcode, whether it, obviously the client, they've got the option to share if they wanted to, but salary, whatever basically the information is on there, it's down to the recruiter. If there's not information listed, it's because they're not comfortable with listing that just yet. And that's fine. That's down to them. And if that's, that's what they want to do, we'll always respect that. Personally, when I upload a role to the Xchange engine, I'll give everything minus the postcode and the client. That way you've got the city, you've got the salary, you've got the job description, you've got the job title. You can go away and work on it. But what you do, we have a look at one of these. So let's say this one, outsource partners. You can see again, you've got a job description, got the job title, got the location, you've got the split fee. Some of these obviously got the salaries as well. Really, you don't need a lot more than that. If you've got an accountant in Thailand, then upload them to the Xchange engine, because you never know. It could be a match, and straight away you can get notified and sort of say that let's get things moving before any actual CV gets transferred or submitted to the other recruiter. Obviously, the split fee agreement gets put in place, because then that way you're both protected. But that's a quick sort of shot of basically Xchange roles, like I say. Recruiter owned, just looking for collaboration, looking for support. Now, the way that this works is through our Xchange engine. So the Xchange engine, basically AI matching software. It's, if you imagine this giant ball like we've got on the screen, what happens is the roles sort of go into that Xchange engine and then they'll come out as a match. Just going to double check on. Let's pop that to there. There we go. For some reason the camera wasn't working. But anyway, so yeah, the Xchange engine, recruiter-owned candidates, recruiter-owned roles, both of them get uploaded into the AI matching software that we call the Xchange engine. And that does all the hard work. That does the matching, and it comes back with the score on how candidates and roles are matching. But it doesn't just stop there, because as I said earlier, if you upload a candidate today and it doesn't match up with a role that you thought they might be good with, that's not the end of the road. That's just, they weren't a match for that one, but they're still in that Xchange engine. They're still circulating and they're still scanning other roles as soon as any updates come across. So it could well be that, yeah, another role might get popped in the next day, in an hour's time, in a week's time. You know, your candidate will always be there. We do put a 6-month life cycle on it. So then obviously beyond that, if it's the case of your candidate is still sitting in there, they do automatically come out just for obviously data. But if you've still got their consent and you're still representing them and they haven't secured that job that they're looking for, by all means re-upload them, and then that way something else might come up for them. But yeah, I think, to be honest, when it comes down to what I call money makers, we've got Recs Direct, we've got the candidate section for searching, we've got Xchange roles. The Xchange roles themselves obviously powered and sort of mainly focused on our core part of the business, which is our Xchange engine. All of those together really build up the sort of key money makers on the system. If we wanted to dive into other areas, just so when you first sort of join, you're not getting completely lost. Your main dashboard that you sort of go to when you first sign in, this is your homepage. You find everything through your dashboard. You've got your channels down the left-hand side. So if you've got private clients, I've got a few demo ones in there. Put private client in there if you do end up sort of wanting to utilize that CRM space and build your own private roles. You can obviously set reminders on when to speak to your contacts within that. So if it's every week, every month, whatever it might be, you can set your reminders. I'm overdue here to call a demo test, and let's say I've spoken to them. All I've got to do, click on the button, just completed, and then that's it. We're back on track. Very quickly, we've got the AI wall. This is all about efficiency. So if you want to utilize AI to obviously anonymize a job description or build out an email, whatever you would normally use AI for, we've actually got it built in. So again, you don't need to keep changing tabs like what I'm doing at the moment. Everything is all built into it. Coffee break, I'm sure a lot of you know, but this is obviously the live chat area. This is where you can communicate. We've got introductions. So this is simply just come in and say hello, introduce yourself into introductions. And then we've got coffee space, where this is more for if you're having a bit of a break, if you want to just sort of see how everyone else is getting on throughout the day, general chat, as if you was hanging around the coffee machine at an office, then this is where you'd go. We've got the post section. This is more of a community board, notice board type area. So these stay on for longer. All recruiters are listed in Explore. Listen is then obviously podcasts. These are all recruitment sort of focused podcasts, so well worth a listen. And then shop if you need any more tokens. Yeah, and I think obviously we've got our banner running across the top. Let's have a quick see if we can scan without opening anything. How are we doing? 114,000 available in Xchange roles, 481,000 available in Rex Direct, over 270 million candidates, and currently on the platform 6,777. And like I said, tomorrow is the 1 month since we opened the doors. So massive thank you for everyone that's joined so far. I can't actually believe that many people have joined. So from going from a rough idea at the start of 2025 to where we are now is yeah, quite astonishing. But so yeah, thank you. Perfect. And how are we doing? Any questions, anything that we need to run through?
We've not got any questions on the live chat. I checked Coffee Break as well. We've got no questions in there. So I think that suggests, Tom, that, yeah, you've done a great job of explaining it all to everyone. But, you know, we're always available for questions on the coffee chat as well. So if you think of any after this, we can always answer them.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got obviously some of you eagle-eyed users have seen that we've now got RecXbot in the live chat. Now that is simply just for guiding people in the right direction, more so for new people. If you've got a genuine sort of query on like you're not certain on, or something that you feel you need a bit of support on, please still put it in there. If RecXbot replies, do ignore it. I tend to, but we'll try and obviously then get through to you and see if we can help you out. And again, more videos getting put on the WhatsApp channel later today, throughout this week until they're all done. I think there's about 35 of them in total. We will eventually get them on YouTube as well. So they'll be available. If there's any that we've missed, please highlight it in the live chat. We've had some updates in there as well. GIFs, emojis, GIFs. It is GIFs. Yeah, I think it's GIFs. GIFs and emojis, you can add them in there. It's obviously just a bit more of a friendlier place than just text. But also if you do at someone's name, it will then obviously flag there as a little notification. So if you do want to communicate to anyone in specific, you can use that. But again, if there's anything that you actually want us to look at training wise, we can always get something set up as well, like a training or something, and we can take that information, see if we get a good demand for it, and create some content. But yeah, I think we're all good.
Yeah, so, excellent.
Amazing. Well, look, thank you everyone for joining us. We are basically bang on time. It's first.